Like, Nyx Assassin support is also not terribly great in the safe lane, so I think you can already target that no matter what hero they draft for No-Tail. Because usually No-Tail's heroes does need a little bit of time, you know, terribly great a lot of Drow Ranger from him too.
So you're talking about a stronger offlane for S4, try to take advantage of the A.
Maybe not a Bat Rider duo, because there is a Nyx Assassin.
Oh, this is the Jerax. Jerax used to play this hero a lot. Jerax hero, Tusker. He used to be really, really good with this hero.
Used to use it on Liquid. Now Liquid continues it again. Except Crow playing it.
Very good against AA. So basically, if you have Tusk +1, you have a strong dual lane. That could mean that AA has to be really be careful in the lane.
It's very punishable. Also, the thing I really like about the Tusk pick here is it kind of fulfills the role of saving somebody too. Because if Nyx initiates, there's probably going to be an Ice Blast.
Yep.
And if you can pull them into the Snowball and dodge the Ice Blast, it can be teamfight win in some cases.
Double save, Dazzle Tusk.
Yeah. They'll work really well together.
Already 2 new picks from OG.
4 support heroes, I would say, in the first phase.
Yeah, that's crazy.
More or less.
No one wants to show their plans just yet. What does AA indicate, rather than the fact that they want to counter Dazzle? Is that pretty much it?
They need also some sort of combo pairing with it too.
Last time they have Nyx is pretty decent.
Yeah, Nyx is one of the best.
But do you want Void as well? MP didn't play the Void very well. I'm not sure about that.
Kezu Void?
Oh yeah, Kezu likes to play Void. Yeah, that I remember. Maybe. That could be good for them. They banned out the Invoker. That was what they paired with the A Nyx yesterday against Navi.
And Terrorblade banned by Secret. Can you Sunder through
you
Ice Blast?
You can. It's not a heal.
Would have been a good way to counter A.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good split push too. That's actually one thing that's really going to hurt Secret too with these 2 supports, is that all the cores have to be the ones that push lanes always.
Yeah. I mean, for OG, Tusk and Dazzle, pretty good at bringing the lanes out. But in this situation right now here, when you pick 4 support heroes, the team that's picking first usually is more uncomfortable. You'd rather be the team picking.
Right, you're going to be the one that kind of shows what's going on first.
No one wants to show the hero, but someone has to do it. Like, Secret has to pick their first hero. Oh. They ban out the TA.
I've played A versus TA. It's the worst thing ever.
So do they want one?
I can imagine.
Get 2-shot. You can't stop it.
Does the TA ban give you a hint?
Does it mean they want Lina? I'm not sure, but maybe it's just more of what Kevin said, because TA can kill A easily.
Or Puck too. Puck's bad matchup versus TA.
We've definitely seen them on Puck.
Oh, very tense moments.
It is crazy that in the game of Dota here in Moscow, that this phase, or the 60 seconds decision that is made, can have an influence on what is essentially a $500,000 tournament.
I mean, it's a chess game right now.
Yeah.
Both teams are trying to figure out what their opponents wants to do. You ban it, or you intentionally give them the hero, then you counter pick it.
There's a lot going on.
And I think it's high. There's a pretty high chance that Secret does something synergy focused. Like they might even go Zeus, something magic damage most likely. So I like that Ember ban for that. And it also is kind of reflected by the TA ban on Secret's side, that they may have wanted that hero. So I think that's something OG has to be
Not
careful
sure though, because when you open up with 4 supports, it's like you can go into so many different things.
Yeah, but why would they? I mean, A is potentially useful, and it does counter Dazzle a decent amount, but it's not everything. You don't just open with A just because you're only going to counter the Dazzle.
They value the hero highly, because the hero got like 2-3 buffs.
It's been getting buffs for a long time.
Yeah, the cold feet, the vortex, the talent. I think this team actually values the hero a lot, and they're gonna have some sort of a global presence. Storm plus the Ice Blast, very mobile.
Waiting for OG's response.
That's pretty good. So this game, Secret are going to try to go for the pick-off game instead of the last game with the tie. They were trying to play more together. Let's OG go for more like a 5-man-ish game.
I think I almost prefer seeing the team waiting to see the pick, just because you can see their reaction
Yeah,
as the
that's
hero
true.
is drafted.
That's why I feel like all these kind of scenarios, you'll be more comfortable picking second. You get to see, oh, it's a storm. Okay, how do we deal with the storm?
Yeah, and that's probably the decision that Fly is making now.
We talk a lot about Dragonite when we see storm. That instant disable, the stun.
Was that banned last game, by the way?
Not sure though. 8 hours ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was the super long draft.
I'm not sold on Dragonite this game against AA Storm. Nyx, it's like so much magic damage. It's like, it's pretty good, but
They are using all time available to
It's
them
very
for this.
difficult to draft though. Like here, it's
So much on the line for OG. This next hero choice, not only does it indicate how the rest of the draft will go, but also it's their last chance.
right. And they get a parrying here too, so they could even, if they want to do something like tried and true,
yeah.
could be
Dragonite.
like Naga +1.
There's not many good options. That's the thing. They spend a lot of time before they pick that up.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
But is it safe to assume that there's a conversation for what those other two slots will be as well before that is drafted?
I mean, they could also be thinking about what we want to pick next. Okay, we know
Yeah,
we want
that's
to,
what I'm
we want a
saying,
DK, and we're just using the time and making sure that DK is what we want right now. So the plan for OG is more or less going to be trying to play as a team, push towers. You don't want to be split up against the Storm and Nyx. And Secret's team right now, so-so. They have a Ice Blast. That's pretty much it. So maybe they are going to be thinking of more of like a team fight hero.
Whoa.
Okay, that's the team fight hero. Kazu Magnus.
Is that going to be fast-paced enough?
Mm,
So I feel like if
not sure.
Dragonite's going to get 6 and start pushing towers,
Yeah.
or
Magnus is definitely not a fast hero. He tends to farm a lot more, but it's good for like the way Kazu's personality in the game.
Yeah.
He's not a player that wants to move around too much. He's more like he wants to focus on his own economy, get the team items. When he's ready, he joins his team, he fights.
Magnus for Kazu.
And
so
Earthshaker. So Earthshaker is S4's hero. Laning wise, Earthshaker Tusk, not like like super strong, but it's okay. They probably just wanted more like disable to lock down the Storm, because when you're up against Storm, the last thing you want is you have not enough disables and the Storm just zips around over here, and he destroys everybody. That's what you don't want.
they have a lot of space control too between Tusk, Dragonite, Earthshaker. Like, yeah, Stormsphere can jump around, but they can very easily block off the other guys.
I think they're gonna pick like some Naga, like some some
Anti-mage.
super, yeah, anti-mage Naga.
Anti-mage is better
something
than
like
Naga
that.
here.
Yeah, I think anti-mage is good against the Storm. Yeah, seems good actually. The other 4 heroes are gonna be able to fight on their own very well, creating because like these 4 heroes are setting up for like a very big hero coming out at the end for OG, and they don't really have the last pick. So if you want to pick like something that fights very well but doesn't have very good laning, you feel a little worried because the enemy has last pick. So maybe in this kind of situations, you are more concerned about having better late game.
Understood. I mean, you saw No-Tail's face there. His expression said a
it's,
lot.
It's really tough here. Very tough draft.
Could be. Could we see Arc Warden potentially too?
I don't like Arc Warden against Storm. I think it's
Yeah.
really bad against Storm.
Okay.
Even against Nyx, it's kind of iffy.
I'm just thinking about other late gamers.
So they
'cause
go
we
for the
haven't-
push. Luna DK, this is like a very old school, like a Chinese push draft. They're
Okay.
still playing with the idea that we are going to have to stick together, play as a team, so the Storm doesn't pick us off and the Nyx with the Ice Blast. We're going to play as a team, push towers, and fight. And Luna is not a slow-paced hero. He's a pretty fast-paced hero. In the early game, he can use his ultimate to assist his team in pushing towers very well.
Their tri-lane's really strong too. They could maybe aggro try.
Possible, yeah, possible, and leave Earthshaker against the Magnus. Which
How's that matchup then? Not
think
bad.
It should favor
So-so.
Shaker, right?
I think it's
Yeah.
favor Shaker.
But Magnus can get the... Wow, that is greedy. That is greedy. Oh my
Why
god, that
would
was
pick
greedy.
Magnus?
Van?
Gosh, that was greedy.
Sven and Magnus.
Is it too greedy though? Can they get away? If they get away with the greed, free game. but can they get away with the greed?
Okay, so at what point will we know if they've got away with the greed? Give us a time limit. Slap a time limit on it.
It's how many items Sven has, more so than
maybe
time limit.
15. If at 15 minutes they haven't really lost the game too much,
That's
I
enough.
think they should be in a very like 15 to 20 minutes tops.
Oh,
I think
man.
I think it might be too greedy though, so I'm siding OG this time.
Okay, want to see a third. OG could get that reverse sweep started. Ben?
I do also think it's overkill, but I think Team Secret have been playing a little bit better, and they will be able to stall out. And with the team fighter on Kezu.
What was the last OG pick again? I forgot.
Luna.
I think that'll work against Sven. Yeah, Eclipse will be good enough. They just have to keep tempo going early, so I'm going to say OG.
All right, then. It is locked in. It was a long, painful, and very, very thought-out draft for both sides. Perhaps even a little bit of a curveball towards the end there. But OG know that those 5 heroes are their only chance to stay here at Epicenter. To get to those playoffs, they have to pick up this win. And it starts with one here in the series to take us to a third. Let's meet your casters, though, as we once again dive into the Dotes.
Thank you very much, Alex. That's right, gods. We are getting ready for Game 2, Team Secret, Go Greedy. How do you feel about the Sven?
We've seen Secret get away with some greedy drafts. We've seen him do some early game aggressive drafts, kind of like last game. So I think Secret is showing a couple different styles. They have a lot of different styles of work for them, and yet to see OG maybe find their form. So I'm still feeling pretty good about Secret, but Mag Sven is, yeah, definitely greedy.
At the same time, they do have some decent D-push here. You've got the Ice Blast. You have kind of a pseudo-counter to this 5-man potential with the Dazzle Heal, the Dragon Knight regen being somewhat mitigated. So if AA has a good start, feels like Secret could buy a lot of time with that.
It's always nice to know, when you initiate, the hero you go on is going to die, which is what the Ice Blast is theoretically meant to bring to the table. Dazzle Grave will not be a save against it. Perhaps the Tusk Snowball, if it's, perfectly timed and you dodge the Ice Blast itself, but
Jerax
easier said
dodging
than done.
5-man Ice Blasts. I mean, if anyone can pull it off on this hero, it's probably Mr. Jerax.
I like that OG have some contingency plans, if they can't fully close the game out early, but they get an okay enough start. Shaker, very good at hunting a Storm Spirit, so definitely the right kind of pick to get for S4 in that off-lane role, and curious to see how things go for OG, whether or not they can get that early game momentum.
I mean, perhaps the biggest thing, which, the panel didn't really dive into too much, is Yapzor on the Nyx again. Do you feel like OG will be more prepared for him this time around? Are there any adjustments they can make so the Nyx doesn't just crush them?
They got a stronger lane. They got Dazzle Tusk, they're not too afraid. Both these heroes are better level 1 than Visage and Kunkka, and Luna better than Drow Ranger. So I don't think we'll even see Nyx Assassin in the top lane very much, just because it's a lane that's going to be very tough to help out. Yapzor even has first item boots. He knows he's not going to be able to get close to them. He wants to have the movement speed. No point getting a poor man's shield if you're going to die anyways. So very clear change in his philosophy going into game number 2.
Yeah, and Secret running the Mag off lane. Not a hero who wants to be up in your face to the same extent as a Tidehunter. So making an adjustment on their end. We'll see OG starting off in the defensive tri-lane here. And it looks like for Secret, probably Yapzor going to end up doing the same as well. Though for now he is sticking around mid, wants to out mid one early, but should have an okay lane against this Dragon Knight.
Yeah, we'll see if it goes Mana Burner thing. Maybe not the best against the DK, but just securing early last hits and denies can be very annoying for a mid laner.
Kezu already getting some harassment from Jerax as well as Fly. They do have the Orb of Venom here. Kezu has not spent his skill point yet, but may be forced into the early skewer. Meanwhile, bottom lane, S4 also getting bullied a lot with the Cold Feet connecting. This could be a first blood on the Earthshaker. He's extremely low. 2 more auto attacks would have done the trick, but
level 1
he had
Cold
the
Feet.
boots, and he makes it out.
Level 1 Cold Feet is something. The guaranteed Stormhammer setup into another 2-second stun. That's a good 4 seconds of disable at level 1 with right clicks to throw in as well. S4 has a really tough time.
You get the 1 point in Chilling Touch, and that's an easy kill from basically full HP.
Yep. I like that Puppy went for the Cold Feet level 1. Normally you see a Chilling Touch, harass, but he knows there is good kill potential, and getting level 2 can sometimes be a bit slow for a support. Not to mention Yapzor has some rotation potential as well. Then you're looking at 3 stuns, almost a full 6 seconds of lockdown. Top though, Jerax coming in with a snowball. Bye-bye,
Pretty
Kezu.
big dive onto Mr. Kezu and OG. Very healthy. They'll take some tower shots, but...
Jerax had the tower on him, and then he denied it off onto Fly.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, S4 also in trouble. He goes for the Fissure. Stormbolt, though, will find him. They do stack the stun slightly with the Cold Feet coming through, but the body blocks are on point, and Secret strike back. So, slight win there for OG as they get the first blood, but Meanwhile, in the mid lane, things going well for mid 1 so far.
Yep.
So a bit of a win in that lane to somewhat equalize things.
He's going to change perhaps when Anna gets his bottle out. That's the kind of key swing for the DK once you're able just to spam that Breathe Fire to get your farm up. And Anna even going for the 2 points in Dragon Blood, knowing he's getting harassed a lot and just wants whatever help he can get. But tough patch to be an offlaner. We're seeing that here.
Oh, this could be a big move by Jerax, though. A bit after
Could be.
2 minutes.
Here's the bottle.
Anna has the Breathe Fire. Now he's going to eat the tree. Mid 1 tries to rush back to the tower, but Yapzor comes streaming in with the haster and ready.
That is
Jerax slightly missing there.
Yeah. He
Won't
used
be
to be
able
the
to
Tusk
cage him in.
God, but his skills have transferred over to Kuro this tournament, it seems.
I'm not ready to fully dethrone him just yet.
Okay.
But
Fair enough.
yeah, not the customary perfection we're used to from Jerax. Maybe Kunkka is more his hero now, you know?
No, he played a ton of the old Tusk, and the ice shards and how it works has been changed a lot. So maybe he hasn't just played as many games on the new one, but definitely a hero he's going to be very familiar with.
Oh, nice.
Puppy. He's rigged it. The 10% remain. 1 in 10 players did not DC LD. Something fishy.
Oh dear. And Benwo is here to give us the seething analysis of this particular puppy pause.
Yeah, we're going to have to
Came
get
at
the
a
tape on that one.
Came at a crucial moment too, gods. Right after the creep spawn.
Yep. Just to make sure he got that side neutral pull off without being contested.
That was too good. Poetic justice.
Well, bottom lane and top lane for the offlaners, both having a fairly rough time, but getting some XP, some CS. I feel like S4 didn't go for the fissure block with his offlane shaker. Playing on that dire side, you can kind of get it pretty close to your tower, but I think ultimately he's kind of getting punished for that.
Man, so far OG just, the lane's going much smoother, not being pressured on no-tail. He's getting his early farm as Kezu is going to get rolled on here up towards the top side. Lucent Beam coming through, is holding onto the skewer now, trying to wait out those shards, and he is going to skewer Jerax away to the low ground, but now the shards come through, and you'll catch the tail end of it as Kezu is finished off.
Jerax knew what was coming and what he was looking for there. Really well played.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to skewer away from Jerax, but Jerax just positioned himself right to take the trip with him.
Very tough to play this offlane now for Magnus. Not having boots means when Tusk hits you, gets that Orb of Venom slow, he can always kind of get in front of you, and it's hard to skewer away without the movement speed help from the boots of speed, and enables them to get another kill there. And things are overall pretty stable in the lanes. Both mid lane is getting farm, both carries getting farm. Feels like the two teams have matched up pretty evenly here in the laning stage.
So OG, much happier with the way things have gone so far. Now looking to transition. They are going to smoke. This is a powerful ganking combo. We saw it earlier as simultaneously the dive is going to come top or bottom lane. S4 called out, will end up going down, but they're making this move on the mid one, and a kill on this mid storm much more crucial than an offlane shaker if OG can get it. The heal bomb is scary at this stage. Ana has taken the point and the stun. They're ready for it. They also are going to prep with the sentry. Jerax about to be scouted, though. It's Yapzor to the rescue. Gonna find him. Do they still make the move? They're gonna snowball in anyway. Oh, that heal bomb really packs a punch. The stun's there from Yap. It's not enough. He has to carapace and retreat. And now Ana's on the chase. Lobs out the Dragon Tail, but OG unable to continue pursuit. A bit too low, so mid one dying again, gods. This is not that free, cruisy start he had last time around.
He did get away from the first gank, but still he's getting pressured quite a bit, and even just the one death on the Storm right before you hit level 6 can be pretty painful as DK beats him to level 6, but looking to get that as he comes back to lane, and oh god, S4.
This cold feet combination, S4
gets away this
lucky
time.
to make it out alive.
Mid lane, oh, he didn't get 6 hit on the Storm.
Mid one getting ganged up upon, and Yapzor can't do much about it. He does take the Dazzle with him, but didn't even get the experience as he dropped first.
He TP'd back into lane like 3 or 4 creeps away, got 2 of those 4 creeps to level 6, and then just didn't respect the fact that Ana still had the dragon form up, so he still had that range stun, and the arcane rune meant he still had a lot of mana to work around with.
We've seen these Dragonite picks very deceptively strong, even in the early laning stage, as he stays up there in the CS department. He now nets the second kill. Again, the roaming and the pressure on mid one, netting an important kill for OG. Get a little bit harder now to take down the Storm, but you know, that's where as the game goes later. You mentioned they do have tools to deal with the Storm. They have the Earthshaker.
Yep.
They have good long-range initiation. The Tusk is good follow-up. The Dragon Knight Blink or Shadow Blade potentially later on can also gap close effectively. So it's not as easy for mid one to have his way with them.
I think the big worry is that Kezu is going to need a lot of farm and room to catch up on Magnus. He's gone for an Iron Talon. He's going to be jungling. So as far as creating space and allowing Storm to like catch up and farm the jungle goes, it's really just YapzOr. And he luckily does have Arcane Boots and has been effective enough in the early game that once he gets level 6, he can be very active. But finding that level 6 is going to be crucial. He can always get it level 10 with the Tome. Ideally, he'd like to get it before then and get Puppey the Tome.
Puppey just deleted. Fly doing work on the Dazzle. It was Puppey last game who took over, and Fly doing it this time around. Dazzle, stock rising, like, perhaps.
Such good synergy with the Tusk. That was actually one of the old school combos OG used to run when Jerix was on this team.
Just roll in, you get a guaranteed like 3-hero heal bomb, and they just melt.
Yeah.
So OG group up again behind the Dragon Knight, and they start a pushing. And for Secret Gods, this is where the Sven pick isn't really ideal. You know, you've got safe lane carrier's gotten free farm, but he is not going to be contesting these pushes without an Ice Blast.
Yep.
They're just not in position to stall things, so OG going to grab an early tower advantage from the looks of things.
They're able just to leave Luna top alone because they know this Magnus is under-leveled, and it's an offlaner with not much kill potential, so the end result is very good.
Secret actually do want to contest. They're coming in. I don't think OG will expect this, though. They might just from the lack of heroes visible on the map right now.
There is a haste rune on Ana, though.
Haste rune on Ana. He probably makes it out S4 with a good fissure, perhaps, but the Cold Feet chain stun could be enough. Fissure is there. Ana able to just sneak out for the Cold Feet. The stun in the trees actually finds it, but YapzOr doesn't have the follow-up that he wanted. And now it's OG's turn to chase the other way. Ana comes in just as the haste rune, or sorry, just as the Dragon Form ends. He gets off the Dragon Tail, and now YapzOr going for the TP out with the Carapace. Heal bomb. No, S4 slams the door, gets the stun, gets the kill, and Secret not only going for the smoke, but having it backfire in their faces. Now have to retreat. Jerax, shards are there. There is a snowball, or a storm ball lightning out, I should say, and he'll make it back, but that is really not ideal. And again, as you mentioned, Kezu, just Iron Talon, he's still catching up. He's not able to contribute either.
Yeah, and that's the big thing there. Kezu doesn't do anything wrong. It's the nature of the draft and the fact that Kezu couldn't lane against this tough tri-lane that results in that being a really unfavorable fight. If there isn't a haste rune on DK, it could go very differently, but even if you kill the DK, you want your Magnus. Your offlaner typically is the hero that you want TPing in, rotating to make that fight work. And unfortunately, Kezu not having farm, not having Arcane Boots with a TP Ravage, RP.
A TP Ravage, that would be pretty sick.
Tied last game Magnus this one meant that it was very limited, and Secret's way to take that fight.
That would be fairly broken.
Now this game gets very hard.
But yeah, it's still farming time. You know, Winter felt maybe a bit too greedy, and certainly the way the lanes have unfolded, it's looking like Secret need a lot of time that OG is not planning on giving them. Pushing in with the Dragon Knight, even bringing No-Tail to the fray, and he's gone for that early Dominator build. This extremely strong 5-man item offers so much with the aura health regen on a Dragon Knight at this stage. That's just 19 HP per second he's regenning gods.
That's the great thing. It's sustain for your push, and it's also a very useful spell. Right now he's stuck with the Ice Armor, which is a lot of bonus armor for your team. 8 bonus armor, which also applies a movement and attack speed slow. Sven can do nothing into this Ice Armor creep, and that's a pretty cheap, cost-effective item for Luna that you're happy to get just for the aura. And then you get all these added bonus with the Ice Armor, so there's a lot of utility coming out from this build, and I love that No-Tail is sticking with this Helm of the Dominator carry build that most carries still aren't going for now that the items receive some nerfs.
It feels especially potent this time around. Will they get enough done, though? As you look at Secret, they're definitely down now, losing early map control.
Trying to hit him, he's going to
having their jungle somewhat invaded. But they're really good at defending high ground and objectives as a team. With Ice Blast finally ready, Blink Dagger slowly being worked on for Kezu. If they get that next round of items, it could be big, but this ain't going to help. Fissure's there to start things off. Kezu forced, or rather Secret forced to TP to defend him. He won't die, but he's not there yet with the Blink. Only 27 CS.
Yeah, danger for Secret is you've got an amazing high ground defense, big team fight wombo combo, but any game where you lose all your outer towers, end up stuck in your base and can't farm, even if you've got this great high ground defense, better team fight, you're going to lose on gold. You get behind 10, 15k gold lead, your opponents don't have to push high ground, they just have to take Roche after Roche, take over your jungle, deny you any team fights. And the end result is, yeah, you've got the better team fight and the better late game, but if you're 20k gold behind, none of that actually matters. And that's something OG can look to do if they actually find themselves in that position.
Jerax with a bold move into the middle lane. Secret have a large stack of heroes in the neighborhood. They just got done cleaning up the entrance. Sven certainly excelling at those creep stack takedowns, but Secret group up again behind Ana, behind the Dragon Knight. Now they've popped down a sentry. They're going to find Yapzor, this pest from game number 1. However, still proving to be a pestilence here in game number 2. They commit on him. They're not able to do much, and the Dragon absolutely goes splat. OG losing a core piece of their push will be denied in their efforts here.
Nice little kill there. Whenever you get those stun initiations off the Ice Blast, very easy to land and secure those guaranteed kills. And I think OG are going to have to respect, as they are not quite ready to fight into that full 5-man team fight with the current state of their items, but they definitely would like to keep applying pressure, finding pickoffs, and ideally using those sentries to get those kills on the Nyx Assassin, but just wasn't quite timed up there.
Time is Secret's ally here, but it
Yep.
could become OG's if they find this next push opportunity. And it's Ana who gets scouted out initially, mid-1. We'll see him, but coming in from the side is S4, and he's going to find his old friend, his old Capitan, down in the river. But backup comes in. They've got the tower still online. The Ice Blast is there, and again, they will strike, taking down Ana, but the trade is S4. Slams them down. Oh, that Shaker packing a punch. The level 4 Aftershock. Don't sleep on it. Now the Fissure from distance isolates Puppey, and from the side, Secret looking to clean up Jerax, who was coming in for the assist. He's low, not dead just yet. Will they have the shockwave damage? It's level 3. The Grave comes out pretty early. MP, oh, the Shard pushing himself somehow down to the low ground. Gets him out to safety.
Okay, he's still a Tusk player, LD.
That was pretty dope.
Yep, he still knows some tricks on this hero, and
Next level Tuskar.
yeah, they killed the DK, which is going to be a problem if they can't maintain some good level of farm on Ana. He definitely needs to scale and tank up a lot to survive these team fights, but the trade for Shaker was very good. Gets S4 very close to his Blink Dagger.
And it could make this next fight more difficult. Very close to the completed Blink now as the jump is onto No-Tail. Ice Blast again. It's perfectly placed by Puppey. Locking down No-Tail. They kill him off quickly, and now S4 trapped in the trees. This might delay the Blink. Isolated, boy, he would sure love the Echo Slam now, but sadly that has a cooldown. Secret strike back. 2 cores for them. All 3 have died for OG in the last minute and a half or so. And the graph is certainly going to be sharply ticking up in Secret's favor on the back of that. Well, I talked about the high ground defense, but it's a tower defense too if they hit these Ice Blasts.
Yeah, the Nyx should not be allowed to get those free initiations off, but unfortunately for OG, their sentry placement was too far back, so Luna hitting the tower was just out of their sentry range. And I think OG just got overconfident. It's kind of a basic kind of principle. You're pushing against Nyx, you play on the sentry, right? Like as close to the tower as possible, but because of Luna's position and the sentry position, OG get caught by a very easy Nyx initiation and stun into Ice Blast, no saving. I mean, you can't fault Dazzle there. If you throw a Grave, he's still going to die. Perhaps he does some damage before he dies with an Eclipse, which is maybe where OG, No-Tail is one of those selfless players where he's like, okay, maybe I go down here, but at least if I get Graved and Eclipse, we may win the fight while I die if my teammates can clean up, but
it's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, it really is. And I think for OG, ideally they just don't want to be getting initiated on. They want to be the ones starting the fight, perhaps waiting for that Shaker Blink, and they need to stop exposing themselves to this big team fight of Secret where they get a stun to initiate, Ice Blast to follow up, and find these easy picks.
But they want to push. That's really the crux of the problem for OG. Yep. They don't want to sit back, trade farm against a Sven, a Storm, an Ancient Apparition, even a Magnus who now closes in on the max Empower. I mean, Sven is just already Blink complete for MP. Incredible farming potential this game, and still up there with the Luna.
I like the build too. We're seeing a lot of these other SMY, Halberd pickups early, but getting an early Blink means that if the sentries are there and Nyx can initiate, Sven can now set up the Ice Blast. I think MP...
And he doesn't have to be all the damage because they have this AA.
Yeah. Any hero you jump with like a God Strength, Blink Stun, and an Ice Blast should be a kill at this point. There's maybe a Dragon Knight who's taking it up, but the others are just looking very squishy.
OG's starting to feel a little more scared now. They're backing up to their side of the map. You can see the Nyx's economic impact as well with all these sentries layering the map, keeping Fly in a very killable state.
This poor Dazzle has money to spend, luckily, thanks to some of the towers, but it's going to all go into detection at this point, most likely. And only now, Dragon Knight picks up the armlet. A couple of deaths in a row. Anna was having a fantastic mid lane thanks to a couple of ganks, but that was set back. And see what the next plan is.
Armlet's a scary item against AA. You got to be very careful with that.
Yeah, it definitely can be. When you're pushing it, you just have to leave it on. If you get Ice Blaster, just leave that sucker on and hope for the best. But likely, yeah, he's got the BKB and a Blink queued up. I like these pickups. You don't really want the Shaker to have to always be the one starting a fight, having a hero like a Dragon Knight who can frontline as well and blink in, stun, and let S4 kind of wait for that big Blink Echo opportunity. Could work out well for them.
Smoke to the bottom side of the map. The line has been drawn. OG gonna see Yapsor now showing himself in mid, but they want this juicier kill. Mid one would be a crucial takedown. If they can find him, they have some decent initiation with that Blink for S4. Looking for the Echo jump, but behind him is the Magnus.
Oh, could they get
Yapsor
both?
as well. They might get a 2-for-1 special. They might only get Kezu, who's just got his Blink, in 10 gold, 5 gold. Skewers out. I think he lives long enough to purchase it. Oh, OG. Ooh. Had they known, they'd be extra salty.
Yeah. Worth even committing an Echo for that one if you could, but now it's Secret's turn. If they want to turn around, smoke up themselves, look for that big team fight.
It's they're the ones with the surprise.
Definitely theirs to take, and this is really tough game for OG to play now. This insta first 2 AA pick just completely ruins the Dazzle and combos so well with Secret's draft, and yeah, they immediately smoke up.
Yapsor's in front, has the Vendetta. Remember, though, OG have been very diligent about sentries, so if he just tries to walk in to start the fight, they might have their surprise unveiled a bit prematurely. Carapace quickly as he runs up the cliff. Nothing scouted, but an important kill to be gained. It's Ana who gets balled on again, pulled back into the Ice Blast. See you later, Ana. Secret just dealing with the Dragon Knight. Another pick on him. And all of a sudden, that OG lead that was once 4,000 gold around 10 to 12 minutes has evaporated, basically dead even. And arguably in Secret's favor at this point.
This can't teamfight LD. S4's found a fortunate Invis rune, and this could actually get them a big kill, though.
Mid one. No, they hesitate.
Oh, no.
And he balls away.
Yep, that slight hesitation. It's so awkward going for that gank around the trees because you think you have it, then he goes into fog for a second just because... Oh, Blink Echo, they still want it.
S4 sees he's out of mana. He's going to commit for this at mid one. Down anyway at the tower.
You take that.
If there was a hero behind him, S4 may have just died on his own, but he takes the risk. It pays off. Mid one, like, he balls away there, Gods, and he figures, I'm out of here scot-free, but he was wrong. Ana. Ana, not another death for him into the Ice Blast pile driven by the Magnus. Oh, goodness gracious. He cannot keep dying.
You got to stick. You
1 and 4.
Cannot play alone when you're against a Storm, Nyx with AA Ice Blast. I mean, you've got 4 heroes with catch and then 1 hero with some damage to go flying in to stop you using your armlet and to stop the Dazzle from saving you. It's a perfect draft setup to deal with a hero like DK. And at this point, after these subsequent deaths, he may just say, like, I can't get Blink anymore, guys. I need this BKB as soon as possible, but...
Jerax is in trouble. Bottom lane, good pull in for mid one. Has the follow-up, rolling forward again. The Walrus Punch will slow things down, but not enough. Even the Sigil can't save him. Mid one gets a kill. Fortunately for OG, Bloodstone isn't quite there yet, but unfortunately, that was a dominating streak that Jerax just gave away.
And that gets him up to the Bloodstone with that. That was a lot of gold for mid one to be picking up with that kill.
They're just not able to stay focused on the strategy here, Gods. OG getting picked off. They've itemized on No Tail. You look now going into an Aghanim set. Like, he's not trying to turn this into a farm war and take it late. Ana went for the early armlet. They want to push. They want to pressure. They want to 5-man and take towers, take Roche, snowball the game. But all these pickoffs are taking the wheels off of that train.
Yep. Definitely some interesting ideas behind this Ag Scepter where, like you say, No Tail recognized going late game, trying to outfarm him is not going to work. He wants to match up to Secret's team fight by getting this item, being able to just get the backlines, put this on a hero like a Dragon Knight who gets gone. And if you commit 3-4 heroes on a DK and he's got an Eclipse on him, well, suddenly that may not be such a good fight for Team Secret. So I like this pickup a lot for No Tail, but it also does put OG's draft even more so on a timer.
Yeah, did elect for the +40 Lucent Beam damage talent.
Oh, beautiful. That's how you play this Ags build. So much AoE damage. If you can get up to level 18, that's where OG is going to hit their, like, a really big peak. Level 18 Luna, maxed out Eclipse, Aghanim Scepter upgrade, and potentially hitting that when there's only BKB on Sven. And the thing is, normally it's BKB Sven on the front lines is tough to deal with, but the Ags, you can actually just do it on an AoE. You can just put it behind the Sven, kill all his teammates if you'd like to.
Yeah, for Secret, they are pretty mobile, though. They have 2 Blink Daggers. Yapsor probably going to build one. Actually, no.
He's going pipe.
He's going pipe. So this is the counter to the Luna, perhaps.
I like it.
And Notel has already shown the build with the point booster. I mean, I guess it could be a Scotty, but...
yeah, you're expecting
it's at least in the realm of possibility he's going Ags.
It's a clever call from Yapsor to get this item for the team. He's already just going for stats with the drums. Initiations like Blinks and Force and Ice, but they've got a 4-stuff coming on Puppey. And Initiation they've got in spades with the Sven, Blink, the Magnus Blink, and a Stormball Lightning. So it's not his job necessarily to be able to blink instantly on top of enemy heroes.
OG forced to slow the game down, and Secret using this time to farm. Does still Notel well ahead in the net worth department here, up to 11K.
He's done very well to
Public enemy
farm this
number
game.
1. He's actually even with the Sven on CS, but still way on top when it comes to net worth. Actually, no, not as far as I thought. Only 1,000 gold, but still a decent margin, considering he's not gone for like a pure farming build.
OG trying to bait this mid-tier 1. Secret not taking it, even though they see Shaker bottom.
Here, who's going to get the jump here? It's Yapsor in front, walks right into a sentry. OG lurking back, and now the Balrus Punch to start things off. They commit a lot on Yapsor, but balling in from afar is mid 1. The Ice Blast is there again. Jump the Dragonite, hit him with the Ice Blast, shut him down. That's the call for Secret, and it seems to be working so far. The Echo Slam from S4, decent but not enough because MP has the BKB just slashing away. What's the Sigil 2? Can't quite finish it though, but they get the kill. Again, the Dragonite down. The Echo Slam committed. They lost their Storm, but now they can turn on to towers, and OG, lacking firepower, have to back away. Even in the middle of that fight, Notel forced to commit his Eclipse, so very little left in reserve for OG for a potential next fight.
And Secret just playing so well. They're so fast to respond and just burst down that Dragonite time and time again. So difficult for Anna to go into these fights. I mean, he really just is struggling because of his lack of farm and items. Feels like OG may have just rushed things a little bit and not respected the power of this AA because DK desperately needs a BKB this game.
It does feel like it could have been very different. You take away some of those pickoffs and the deaths on Ana, especially when they were trying to push top, and that tower's probably down. It's a very different game, but instead it's Secret just finding the openings. Ana TP's in again, this time into the RP. Again, the Ice Blast there. Grave ain't gonna save you, my friend, and neither will it Notel as the game collapses. OG are reeling punch after punch, blow after blow from Puppey and friends, closing in on the win here. Secret continue to deliver in the group stage.
OG on the brink of elimination in the group stage. I cannot remember the last time OG would have been eliminated in the groups. Maybe like one of the first times ever.
It's back-to-back events. If they go on to lose this, Gods, where they've disappointed, you know, dropping a series to Faceless in Manila. Certainly Faceless, one of the strongest teams from Southeast Asia, but a team that OG you'd expect as major champions can deal with. And now, quite likely to fall here to Secret. The Aegis already grabbed by mid 1. And OG, despite this desperate smoke, a bit late to the party. No Echo anyway, so it would have been an uphill battle to take that fight.
We'll see if OG have any deviations in the script for now. Problem is they can't just be like, okay, our DK needs a blink or BKB, let's just farm him, because Secret are just going to start picking you off with 4 good initiators, a roaming Nyx who's just constantly scanning people out. You can't play the farm game. You've got to stick together as 5, and when you're sticking together as 5, DK is not finding much farm at all. So very tricky for OG to play this one out. The Ags for Notel is completed though, something they can look to structure their next fight around.
Yeah, his Eclipse had better be big because his farm is now getting Eclipse. Sven is atop him. Magnus has also grabbed a Midas. Secret having more and more access into late game as again Yapsor starts the party, finds Fly early, gonna deal with the Sigil. Nah, he says I'll take the hero kill instead. And it's just like a highlight reel of OG heroes on their own being punished, whether it's the Dragonite, now Fly starting to get picked off. They're just not able to group as a team, and even if they did, Gods, at this point, I'm starting to feel like they have a low percentage to win those fights anyway.
I think that's Fly like, all right, my DK needs an item. Go farm where it's safe. I'm going to go create some space for you, but Yapsor is finding pick after pick.
More and more. S4, you can't afford this death, my friend. Up to the high ground he goes. Kezu there cuts him off. Drills him with a well-placed shockwave and finds the kill. Puppey lending some moral support there with the Ice Blast. And Secret just continue to stride forward, but bottom lane MP has been caged up. He's got the BKB. BKB TP out. Don't know that there's a whole lot to do with there. Is a Walrus Punch. He's going to turn, try to fight the Walrus Punch, not commit. MP standing his ground. He's low, though. Has to get out of here soon. The team is coming. Buying time. The shards off the mark. Oh, that could really cost OG. Kezu's in position with the RP, but they have to beware the Eclipse.
The Eclipse.
Ooh.
Just to get the Sven kill.
They almost all walked into it. Secret were like, we could take this fight, but Notel could also just get himself an ultra kill.
Sven had Blink up as well. So.
Now they want to fight, though. Yapsor sticking around. Puppey's there. He's got the Ice Blast. What an impale! Sets it up on 2. Well done. Well placed. Do they have the follow-up? Kezu comes in. Not the best RP, but it's decent at that. That'll net them a second. Fly in the trees. Now no teleport scroll either. Even Ana coming in a bit late. Stuns mid one, but doesn't have the damage. They're going to lock him down for now. Trapped in the trees, but of course he can ball his way out. I don't think they saw Fly's lack of TP. 20 seconds without one. Now, although he has it, waiting on the cooldown, but seems he'll be given his time to make it away.
Well, things go from bad to worse as Secret take fight after fight. Sven goes down there, but it's such a small consolation prize when you're losing your Luna, your Tusk, and giving Secret even more to play around with. And I said, MP could have lived there, but he was trying to just, I think he was actually trying to bait OG in, which would have been, like, which ended up kind of happening there. Wasn't kind of anticipating a solo Axe Eclipse on top of him, because he could have blinked out earlier.
But it's fine if they use that. That ultimate is such a huge cooldown, 140 seconds. It basically is their team fight. OG have Echo Slam, but that alone will not net you kills with the farm that Secret have as Yapsor closes in on a pipe too.
It truly is the one spell, like it's everything. It's
with this build, like there's no physical damage. It's just Dragon Knight with an armlet, and we've seen Ana do absolutely nothing for nearly 20 minutes now.
Secret will be the ones pushing the lanes, perhaps looking to use this Aegis on mid one to start another fight. He's even got an Orchid now, so no BKBs on either carry make dealing with this item very, very difficult.
Finds his opening, jumps in again. The snowball's there. Decent save opportunity by Jerax. Dodges the Ice Blast. Rolls them into harm's way, though. MP is waiting with that cleaver of his. Gets the stun on No-Tail. Push back, but not quite enough. They pull him in. He does get the grave. He's a bit tankier. Looks like he's likely to drop. What else can they find as a trade in turn? The Echo comes from S4. They need the follow for MP. Kezu skewers him away, saves his friend. MP survives. Now the Warcry back. Jerax cutting him off. Barely at that with the shards, but still it's on the run. The Dragon Knight scurries back to high ground, impales slightly off the mark. The Fissure cuts them off at the pass. Now S4. And again, mid one's maybe gotten a little cocky, though the RP is there and he's got the Aegis. Round 2 likely to be uglier for OG. They continue pushing their way forward. Mid one, plenty of mana to play around with here. Has to be careful though. Shrine gets tapped. They will down S4, and now they back. A pretty decent trade for that Aegis.
I feel like that's the only way OG can actually win team fights now is dodging an Ice Blast. Unfortunately for them, they didn't have the Eclipse, and it also was an Aegis on Storm Spirit. If they can dodge the Ice Blast when the initiation comes, there's a hope for them in a team fight. If that doesn't happen, whoever gets initiated on, be it the Dragon Knight or the Luna, is going down, and I think OG's hopes to win a fight without one of those heroes is taken away.
Well, the counter to that Eclipse has now arrived. Yapsor, as a 4-position Nyx assassin, has secured a pipe of insight to go with the Drums Arcanes. Incredibly farmed.
Yeah, that's very impactful.
He is 6-2 and 14, and they have 21 kills this game.
Ooh, his involvement for this Secret team. He was such a good pickup to bring in to replace Pilot Eye. Just bringing in such a big playmaker, and Puppey transitioning fantastic into that 5-position role. He's going to have a Glimmer Cape too as far as magic immunity and resistance go. Puppey is going to be able to help out teammates in that Eclipse. Potentially even save their lives if there's no detection, so...
Jerax trying to push these lanes out. TPs, Puppey gets vision on him, and MP, just seconds late. They'll make it out, and he desperately tries to stall, but you do have to ask, what can OG stall for at this point with the talents No-Tail's taken, the way they've itemized, even just the raw scaling of the lineups had they gone greedy? It feels like Secret have that late game anyway.
They can stall for that BKB team fight, but again, if Secret see those BKBs, they may just play the map. Storm can have a fantastic time scaling into the late game. Mag Sven, you've got team fight, you've got great late game potential. Magnus has a Midas, so you can look at like Shadow Blades, refreshers in the future as well. Secret definitely in cruise control with the lead they've got.
Epicenter on the hunt, as he so often has been, and Fly sits back. And the safety and protection of his team, dropping observers.
They'd love to find a jump on Puppey. He's actually a big kill to get at the start of the fight. Problem is, if you all jump him, you may just get chain stun, RP, Sven stun, impales. There's a lot of AoE disable on the
counterplay
side.
potential from Secret is huge.
Yeah.
Not going to find an opening. OG just tucked away as a squad of 5. Meanwhile, MP farming up a storm in the jungle. And that's really the advantage Secret have, is not only do they probably have the better raw late game on paper, but they have a lot more confidence moving around the map. MP unlikely to die with the BKB, as well as the lack of like proper gankers for OG. They don't have the Invis heroes, they don't have the Ice Blast. Yeah. So they can get more off the map even when they're not getting kills.
I like this from Secret. As far as itemization goes, they're all building towards BKBs. They recognize that this Eclipse is 75–80% of the damage in these team fights. If we get BKBs, Luna's going to do nothing. And Luna's also likely getting a BKB as her next item to stay alive. Well, she's going to do no physical damage. So having BKB on Magnus, BKB on Storm, BKB on Sven, as he's had for a while.
And the pipe.
It's going to be too tough to deal with.
Now a jump forward, Ice Blast again, and yet another kill. Secret rolling in the dough. Puppey will take his 10% there. And now the tower likely next on the list.
Fly at mid, nothing much he can do. He actually, I feel like his net worth has just gone down because of how much he's had to keep buying sentries. He's been getting picked off. He's had these same items for the last 20 minutes, but that's life against the Nyx Assassin and life when you're playing from behind. So Secret will take a free tower up top, get themselves a bigger lead. Waiting on Roshan, perhaps they've got the Nyx illusion there, and an Aegis and Cheese awaits them with that second Rosh. So that's going to be a key tool to perhaps look to close this game out.
Well, one last gasp for OG might be the BKB. As you mentioned, Notel could be a slight game changer. Finally does have it. At least won't get chain stunned. Maybe the RP could punish him, but likely gets this BKB off, especially defending the high ground. Now, whether or not they can dish out damage, that is the question, but OG will certainly give it one last shot. Secret content to sit back, looking for their opening, and now OG with the BKB ready, make their move. They lead with Ana. He doesn't have one, though. He's a chain stun kill. Grave has not proven much of a save this game.
Storm also has a BKB for this fight, so unless they like blink stun him and eclipse him during the chain stun, it could be bad.
Radiant Scan might scout this out. OG staying on the other side.
They're trying to bait the rune.
Epicenter. Oh, that's not really the hero you want. He's going to take it, and Ana even blinking in. Time and again, it seems like he's the one getting caught out. Mid one's there with the pull. He gets off the BKB. The Eclipse rains down from above. Does bring the Nyx low, but he gets off the Carapace, locking Notel position. He survives for now. He's going to completely withstand this onslaught. Ana isolated on the low ground. Feels like the story of this game. A dragon completely having its wings clip. The Ice Blast there, but a great snowball save by Jarex gives them the breath of fresh life. Isn't enough. MP still hanging on, holds the BKB. They've got the RP. They're hanging on. Notel out in front, in danger though. He can't withstand this level of physical damage on his own. He needs the backup. Kazu coming in there with the RP. They don't have to follow up. Perfect fissure. OG out fighting the crap out of Secret, completely isolating Kazu. They're gonna bring him down too.
Storm's respawning, but they back off. OG, oh my gosh, how do they win that fight?
Outplayed. Oh goodness.
The Tusk plays. Jarex was just out of his mind with some of the shots. He kept the Dragon Knight alive for so long. He actually shards blocked him against the wall, which kept like the melee Sven away. That was insane. Then he blinks down and snowballs him, keeps him alive even longer. They took so long to kill the Dragon Knight. He gets a shard with the fissure at the end to save the Luna as well. I can't believe how well played that fight was by Jarex.
The best part was the Eclipse did basically nothing. It brought the Nyx low, and that was it. And they still come out on top.
Well,
breath of fresh air.
Still a big uphill battle for OG. They are down 14,000 gold against the lineup that is meant to take them in the late game, and they have not itemized for late game. We get to see another look at some of these plays.
Three more fights like that. Oh, I don't know if we should be looking at these because Epicenter is hunting Notel mid. The Luna in danger, gets caught out, stunned for now. MP there chunking him down. Notel out for 75, and well, just when you think it's a breath of fresh air, Secret are collecting a free Aegis cheese.
That's tough. They know they're so much stronger with the Eclipse down, even with the Eclipse not doing a whole lot last fight. it's still a key tool for OG in those team fights. And Secret, Aegis G's make it very difficult for OG to do much now. If anything, they may just have to resort to defending high ground at this point.
That's where Secret can just chuck the Sven way out in front, let him wail on buildings, and counter-initiate if he gets jumped. Fly got a, 60% net worth increase from that last fight, so
nice.
He's a happy Dazzle. More sentries for the squad.
Dragonite just can't find the room to get a BKB up right now, which is making his life really tough. Anywhere he goes to farm, the Nyx immediately beelines for him. And
I think he bought the gem, right?
No, sorry, that's
Dragonite.
I believe it was the Tusk, or at least one of the supports.
His item progression has just been non-existent this game.
He's been on the receiving end of every Secret gank throughout this mid-game, and it's tough to play DK when your team gets put in a position where you can't five-man push because Secret have such a good defense against it.
We'll get another look at this. Again, the fight started with Ana jumping in, but YapzOr very quick on the reactions. You can see actually even eats almost the entire clips, never dies through all of that. But mid one also was quite ineffective getting the kill on Ana.
I think it's S4 who blows him up here. It would be a...
It was great timing on the Echo. The Ice Blast slightly late, doesn't end up netting them an early kill. MP largely gets kited by the Sigil. That's, I think, one thing to mention is Sven is not... is somewhat dealt with by that Sigil.
That fight really, came down to S4 and Jerex. I mean, you mentioned Jerex's play already, but S4's Echo Slam was the majority of the damage output and what kept OG alive.
That's just the issue for OG, right? It's unreliable damage. It requires, imperfect execution. I don't feel like it requires that for Secret. It's just get one stun on somebody, hit them with Sven, or ball in from distance and storm with an Ice Blast. That's probably your first kill, one or two more, and the fight's over. So ease of execution is there for Secret.
Now they get themselves on the high ground. Very hard to find a way to initiate on this one too.
I don't know if you mentioned it, but Kezu also has a BKB now.
Yeah, he's...
mass BKBs are in vogue.
Well, options for Secret seem to be, we don't need to push now. Let's go back, let's farm, let's push out these lanes. Both mid and top have waves at the tier 2, so rather than find yourselves in a spot where you may not break the high ground and miss out on farm, they're just going to play the efficiency game, and they've still got a good 3 minutes to go for another high ground attempt, or at least wait for a fight or a good team pick-off to lead them into a
they
high
just
ground
venture
push.
out of their base. They are a bit scouted out here. Gem is not in the neighborhood. That's Jerex packing, and he's all the way over to the right. Ice Blast having a fish off the mark, but Secret still marching up. YapzOr quite confident here. Perhaps a bit too much, gets the push down.
Nice force.
And back towards safety. And finally, Ana's BKB is complete.
You can see YapzOr, very confident Nyx player. He immediately runs up to the high ground.
Speaking of confidence, mid one's got that too. MP jumps in, BKB deletes the Dragonite. Story of this game. Getting picked off at crucial moments. Ana has had a rough go of it, and now mid one leaping further, going deeper. Kezu's there. Nice RP. The follow-up comes through. Your Eclipse does nothing. No tail, they say. One swing of that sword nearly finishes him off. Aegis does get popped. MP keeps a cleaving through, and last desperation times now emerge for OG. No Eclipse, no Echo, no Dragonite. They'll triple buyback to hold the line, but the gold loss is catastrophic.
Yeah, it's one of those fights where there's enough heroes in that Eclipse that the damage just gets spread all over and couldn't quite finish anyone off with it. The Storm Aegis was expended, but that's exactly what Secret had in mind. Mid one chewed through his entire mana pool to chase, and he wanted to die. He wanted to get those the replenished mana to continue to chase and do damage, and the triple buyback means this gold lead gets absolutely out of control. 27, close to 28,000 lead for Secret. They don't get a Rax, they don't get a tier 3 tower, but they are in prime position to do that with one more team fight. They also may just force it. They know there's no Echo Slam, no Eclipse. OG's tools to win a team fight are taken away at this point.
Secret, not really a crucial match for them. It's the LGD match, as you mentioned, Gods, that will decide their fate, but this certainly gives them confidence going in, and more confidence for mid one as he jumps forward, but a good snowball save. Doesn't seem to matter, though. Ana tried to limp away, and that means mid one will pounce. Forces him back, isolating Jerex, now taking the Tusk out of the picture. No tail, standing his ground for now. Sven arrives. Has that God Strength ready to go. He's hitting for almost 700 damage a swing. Doesn't even need to activate the Satanic just yet. Stun is there. Chewing rapidly through the Luna, forcing out the BKB. Yap adds a bit of assistance, but only tickles the Luna in comparison. That is almost the max weave to keep him alive.
Oh boy. So hard to fight into.
MP's about, right he's going for butterfly now.
It's kind of like a high ground pushing item in some ways. You know, you just get the evasion against the tower. You know, DK Luna are so stout for items. They're not getting an MKB anytime soon, and neither of them is going to be able to right click you down.
So Secret slow things down now. They'll shove in the bottom lane. Mid one clearing this wave out, and the team convoying in, dropping cheese as they go. Passing that off now to Yap and congregating. MP will shove in mid. Looks like they want to be systematic about it.
Wait for the pickoff. You've got some nice deep wards up. You know the Dire team has no wards because of the gem, or at least the wards they have two, but they're in useless positions right now. OG are not playing. When you have wards up, you want to be fighting around them, but there's no fights happening on the Radiant side of the map at this point. So Secret have the vision advantage just because of where OG are stuck in their base.
But OG have the high ground. I'm not going to need to avoid pulling out his Anakin Skywalker if he wants to take this fight. Here comes the ball, and mid one goes right for Fly to start the fight. Gets off the BKB, silencing him. Not following up with damage output, but YapzOr's there with the stun. Connects for the kill. MP, meanwhile, looking to hit really anyone. Kezu's with the RP, but he pushes him away. Might open up an opportunity here. S4 getting the echo off. The Eclipse rains down, and it only tickles. Nothing in the end. No damage for OG. The road ends here. Eliminated first from Manila. And now, gods, from Epicenter. Whew. Your Kiev major champions looking a little mortal.
And that's one of the funny things with OG. They have won more Valve events than non-Valve events. These guys seem to find their way with the majors, but with some of these third-party line events, they haven't always backed it up with the best results. And well, knocked out in the group stage, one of their more disappointing ones, but it was a very tough group. Secret really showing up to play. LFY, who knew those guys were going to be as dominant as they were? So I think OG have a lot to learn, a lot to try and adapt for the next couple of tournaments, because this is still a fairly fresh patch, but for a team used to winning majors, this is perhaps a bit disappointing.
Well, Secret, I think for me, the story of the series has to be YapzOr. Absolutely immaculate performance here on the Nyx Assassin. That is going to wrap it up for today, guys, but we do have a juicy match still tomorrow that will decide this group. It's Secret versus LGD-FY. But I think with that, gods, that's it for me and you for now.
Looking forward to that match. That's going to be absolutely fantastic.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all for joining us. We'll be back. You're watching Epicenter.
Kiev Major looked oh so good for OG, and now both Manila and it seems here in Moscow it will end for OG. Not making it to the playoffs is going to be quite the demoralizing feat. However, some of our analysts felt like it is just a question of time before we see that OG back to their Valve event splendor. Winter, Merlini and Purge are hanging out with me to talk through this one, and it will be brief initially as we do prepare ourselves for that interview, but just kind of to summarize, Ben, what we have just seen here. Is this just a case of a sloppy OG, or is this a Secret that could contend for that top spot here?
A little bit of both. Okay.
I
would say that this series in particular, this was maybe Ana's worst individual performance that I've seen in a very long time. He died just way too much and slowed down a lot of their momentum. The thing about both of their drafts is that there was very little room for mistakes in a Drow lineup and in this Luna DK lineup that they were trying to push for.
It did get a little messy towards the end there, Purge. I mean, do you kind of resonate? Does that resonate with you? The fact that it's a bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Column A, column B.
Yeah, Secret I think looked a little bit more solid than they did at Kiev, at least during their main stage performance. And yeah, OG just didn't quite look the same. They did obviously, honestly, taking 3 weeks off is a huge deal. It's going to affect your coordination. It's going to mean you're a little bit out of the meta, especially this is their 3rd loss now at the group stage. It's got to be demoralizing, and sometimes that can affect things more seriously.
Yeah, with all of that considered, I think it's going to be very interesting to hear what they have to say in that interview. Secret contending for that top spot tomorrow.
Окончилась, наверное, окончательная главная игра этого дня. И что же, у нас с нами MP из команды Secret, победителей. So, how do you feel after this game? Because it was very important for you and both for Team Liquid.
It always feels good to win games. It didn't really matter that much, but it always feels good.
MP just said that, oh sorry, Mid1 just said that you hate playing against OG. Why? Why so?
Well, they're the kind of team that split pushes a lot, and we don't really like that. And my playstyle doesn't like playing against it, so yeah.
So they don't fit to you, to your playstyle.
Kinda, yeah.
So, and tomorrow you're playing with LGD FY, so what are your expectations? Have you ever tried playing against them, and what to expect from you and from them?
Oh, well, we have never played them, so I don't really know what to expect from them. But, well, it's gonna be a close match. I think we're prepared too. We don't, they brought some cool picks from, well, their region, and some new meta for the new patch. It's gonna be close.
So, and you have secured the place in the final stage. How important is this tournament for you personally?
Oh, well, this tournament is important for all the teams participating because we're close to TI and everyone wants an invite. And I think this tournament will secure an invite if you win this tournament. Yeah, so it's very important for us.
So, and what about Yabzor? How did he feel during the game, and was he ready, like, to spread his wings and play to his full potential despite this sort of problem?
I mean, he had some, well, health issues, but he was pumped and he was ready to play the game and win OG. Yeah, so we didn't really have problems. Yeah, he was very prepared.
So, thank you. Wish you all the best in the semi or quarterfinals. Again, in the final stage. So, and hope to see that tomorrow you will play at your best. Это был MP, и что же, на этом у нас все. Мы передаем слово в студию аналитики.
And there he's kind of summarized it as well. Not only do we get to hear a little bit from MP, but also there is another game to be played. Due to the aforementioned Yapsor health issue, it has been resolved and we will be seeing them in action tomorrow, which was supposed to be an off day. It will come, we get to see LGDFY going up against Secret for that top spot of Group A, which will give them that bye to the semi-finals. But we have to kind of turn our attention back to the game, and I think we got to hear a little bit of insight we wouldn't otherwise have known. Winter just doesn't like playing. His play style doesn't suit that of OG's. Is that something you encounter with players often?
Yeah, he likes to fight. OG likes to split push and move around the map, farm, dodge, pick fights that they want to with their Naga, TB, whatever, Illusion Hero, Alchemist. Definitely I can understand why he doesn't like it.
Just doesn't work for him. But his teammates certainly worked well, and this is the result. Started with some pretty swift action in this one, Kevin.
I would say it's it wasn't really the typical OG playstyle in that they didn't do that much split pushing. But I think the biggest costly error was just the fact that Dragonette got caught out so many times, and maybe the armlet pickup as well. I think that's the wrong item to go for when you're against this kind of like burst lineup with an A in it, because it happened so many times in the mid game where he just got comboed and killed from full HP. But either way, S4 had an amazing game to really offset a lot of that disadvantage that Anna ended up setting up later.
Ben, throughout those replays and of course throughout these highlights, there were moments where you had to credit where you were crediting the actual individual skill, the movement, the use of abilities, and also general team fight.
Certainly from Yapsor. Yapsor did, I would say, play very similarly to last game, but it's that he's just having these amazingly consistent performances on the position 4, getting a decent amount of farm, getting a lot of information, and of course, setting up all of these team fights. And we saw S4 do very well on the Shaker. On the flip side, Kezu, I think he could have had some better RPs, or at least some turn RPs to bring the opponents into position to help the Sven, because Sven gets kited very, very easily. Yeah. And overall, it was a very difficult game for them after they had a lot of resistance going into those T2s, and after MP got his BKB and other items.
Yep, they weren't able to snowball as hard as they wanted to. Because they went for this kind of a pushing lineup, they can't really afford too many errors though. one error is like really bad because Secret, like we mentioned during the draft, they went for a very greedy pushing lineup, and I said 15 to 20 minutes. If they can survive that period, it's going to be like a free game for them because their heroes are just going to excel way better than what OG had in the later stage of the game.
It was so very scary in that draft. I saw a lot of faces and eyebrows raise. In fact, expectations were set to see a third game from some of us. However, we did in the end watch OG fall and will not be continuing in this tournament. Now, talking of Yapsor, we do just, I mean, they say the numbers don't always tell the whole story, but when you do look at his kill participation, it is insane. 31 of 33 kills he played a part in.
I mean, he is definitely a very good player, and everyone's going to be having their eyes on him right now.
Yeah. I mean, when did he come from? We talked about it before. It was like, he's the most recent addition to Secret.
Yes, I think less than a month ago or something like that. Yeah, came from Simeon's old team, much like Hezu.
He came from Bears. Before that.
He was on Ninjas and Pajamas for a while. But he's always been a very good 4 position, just definitely hit. He went from like a very good 4 position to an insane 4 position. That's pretty much what happened, especially during this tournament. So he's really shown the huge difference that it makes.
He's taken the reins from Jerax.
I think for a person like Yapso as well, like you want him to be paired with someone that will take charge, like a captain. The other support player has to take charge of all the game stuff, the calls and everything. And you want to let Yapso just play his game and just focus on the hero so he can play really well. I think that's what I see working really well for them. That this duo, Puppy plus Yapso, has been very impressive.
That wall. Brutal towards the end of that one. When did it finish? 43 minutes?
This is the RP that I'm talking about. I thought he could have turned RP a little bit to the left when he tries to RP the Luna. He brings it away from the Sven, and they get split up by the shards right here. And Sven, this is one of the big fights that they lost. They lose 3 heroes at the end of the day, and their team fight was like decent. I still think it could have been better, but they did weather the early game very well, again, due to, as we keep on talking about, Yapsor and a few mistakes too by OG. We saw a lot of the shards not completely connect onto Jerax. Maybe this isn't a first phase pick like it is for Liquid.
Yeah, that's really true. They definitely did misuse a couple of their skills at crucial moments, and the teams that did go 4-0, they didn't make mistakes like that. It was a very rare thing, like a 1 out of 7 ganks thing, but from the 10-minute to 25-minute period, Jerax missed at least like 2 or 3 that definitely hindered his team, and oftentimes even led to somebody dying.
Don't think he's as polished with the new, because the new eye shot is better, but if you are not used to it, you're definitely not going to use it as well as the old one.
I mean, is this so? If you kind of compare and contrast Kuro on Tusk with,
Kuro is definitely the best Tusk now.
You would say,
yeah,
without question. We got to see, and we get to see more of him as well. And of course, we'll bring up the groups in just a moment, but first we get the stats powered by cybersport.com. OG, lessons learned from this one as the masters of both majors and Valve-sponsored events, 4 of them under their belt. They heard it from the casters that the majority of their wins do come from those majors. I wonder why that is. It's not something, I imagine no one here on the panel does have that answer as to why they do seem to decelerate and accelerate throughout the calendar year.
I feel like you have to be on the team to know.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have to worry about an invite because if they win the last major, they get invited to the next major.
And then they just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
I feel like there's always complacency that comes when you do win a lot of money, but considering they've won 4, maybe that argument isn't the same. But like Ben said, maybe it's a little bit of a tempo thing. Maybe it's they try ultra hard for the upcoming big tournament to keep getting those wins.
Sure.
Maybe they're just a little bit off on the meta or something like that.
The break, though, I think the break definitely has something to do with it. They took 3 weeks off. 3 weeks is a very long time.
Sure. And I'm sure that's something that they will have kind of, you have to balance the positives and negatives. Time off is important. Yep. I mean, I have seen across esports that burnout is a very real thing. If you're constantly putting your time in, every pro player will tell you that time off is valuable. Perhaps 3 weeks has cost them this one. That's a debate for them to have and not us. But
if they make it to TI and they win, I mean, if they get invited, if they play well, they win TI, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's an irrelevant discussion at the end of the day. And yeah, TI around the corner. OG know they've got that invite, or essentially have that invite. Secret, on the other hand, let's turn our attention to the winners of this series and what they could potentially be doing at Epicenter. Was this a team that was kind of on your radar, Purge, as in a team that could really make a deep run at Epicenter?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe If you ask me off the top of the head, they maybe wouldn't have been the 2 or 3 teams that I named.
At the start of the tournament, perhaps not.
Yeah, but when you look at the numbers and you look at how Secret performs in group stages and how they've been consistently, they're one of those strike force, like they're like a glass cannon. They definitely could go really deep, but they usually just get shot in the knee like that one time and they fall over. But them beating OG here, I think, makes a really big statement. They still have a 4th game to play, obviously, but I could definitely see them going all the way to the finals. I think they're playing fantastic. I think YapzOr is definitely giving them a lot of push that they didn't necessarily have from their supports before in a lot of cases. So, yeah, I could see them doing it.
And I think the best way to show why Secret are going to start being one to watch into those playoffs is by bringing up the groups. If we do so, you will realize that they could potentially be emerging from those groups undefeated in a group with LGD Forever Young, Liquid, OG, and Na'Vi. It's quite the achievement should they get there. However, it is one more game versus a team they've never played. That's going to be a really fun one tomorrow. That's coming at you from what I hear at 12 o'clock. You'll get to see that one. But Group B is concluded. You can see there EG, VP, and IG. That's the discussion we need to have now. Planet Odd gone as well. Planet Odd, OG, both eliminated in the group stages. Something you would have expected, Winter? I mean, perhaps Planet Odd is more...
Yeah, Planet Odd more expected.
Okay.
OG, I knew they weren't in very good shape, so but then I still kind of expected them to do well.
Weather the storm.
Yeah.
It's just so hard when you see, I mean, Kiev was not long ago, and you see what they are capable of, to just see that difficulty. And also, I guess, is proof that Dota is truly unbelievably competitive, right, Ben? I mean, when this is happening, you have teams rise and fall with so much speed.